Hi everyone, I am Sarah with Divine Love Healing. Welcome to my channel. I just want to thank you all who have been with me since the beginning. It's just come up on, 4 years since I started the YouTube channel, and I've had sort of an influx of new subscribers these past few days, few weeks, so I'm very grateful for that. And as I've said before, I am open to suggestions for content you would like to see coming on my channel. I do try to do a wide variety of readings to cover the different issues and phases of people's journeys that they may be going through. So I obviously can't honor all requests, but I do love to hear your feedback and would like to try to put out more content that you feel helps you. So if you are new to my channel and you haven't seen the last video that I recorded, it was on a collective reading on the new moon eclipse energies. I would encourage you to watch that. I did timestamp it, but I did provide a little bit, well, it was probably about 15, 18 minutes, something like that, introduction, just to let you guys know who I am, my background, how I got on this journey, why I started my business, kind of where my journeys led me, and really kind of my philosophy for trying to empower people and help people on their journeys. So again, if you're new or if you would just like to hear some updates on where I'm at in my journey, then I would encourage you to watch that video. I will also put some links to old videos that I recorded that may be relevant for you on your journey now. There are videos for angel numbers, sign synchronicities, guide to a spiritual awakening, and then also a walkthrough of my Triggers and Shadows Oracle deck that can provide you quite a bit of insight into the core wounds, patterns, and just issues and behaviors that maybe other people are projecting upon you, issues that you're having in your relationships and just in your life in general. So I think, again, it would be something good to just kind of give you some awareness of the types of things that all of us, the baggage, so to speak, that all of us come with on our journey. So the purpose of this video today is to go into the retrograde energies that are either they're upon us now and that are coming. And instead of doing a pick a card, I wanted to do this one by zodiac element. So this means I will be focusing on 4 different areas. So that will be for earth signs, that will be for air signs, fire signs, and water signs. So I will put the description down below along with the timestamp if you aren't sure. For example, fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you aren't even sure, what's your sign, you may most people just know their sun sign, and there's a lot more to your natal chart than that. So you may, for example, be a Sagittarius as your sun sign, but then you might find that you have a stellium, which is planets that fall within the same element or the same sign. So you might have a lot of earth in your chart elsewhere that really, you identify more with the earth sign reading. You may find that watching all of them gives you some insight into your journey. So I would encourage you to do whatever resonates and whatever feels right. There's no right or wrong as far as what your intention guides you to do, right? And so this is intended, it can be a timeless reading, right? Right now we're focusing on Pluto retrograde, which just transitioned. We went into that on Friday, April 29th. And our favorite Mercury retrograde is coming up next week on May 10th, and that is going through June 2nd. Pluto retrograde is much longer. It's actually going through October 8th. So that's quite a long time. That being said, there tends to be some general commonalities and themes that we see with these retrogrades, right? Mercury retrograde is known for having, people start having communication issues, technology issues. It's advised a lot that you don't make big decisions, enter into contracts, job decisions, things like that during this time frame. It's also a time when exes tend to resurface, and a lot of times that's just, there's either some sort of a pattern or cycle that needs to close. There's, a karmic issue, some kind of soul contract, something like that. This isn't a time, though, I don't want this to be a time of fear. because if you dread these things and you expect the bad things to happen, then, you know, often they will. This is just for awareness. This is for insight. This is, you know, to kind of look at it from a broad standpoint. You know, we're going to look at career, finances, romance, and any other types of things that come out for you. So again, this even though it's focused on these two retrogrades, it could be timeless if you happen to catch this a few months from now and you're finding some kind of patterns repeating itself in your life. You know, this could definitely help you out with that. Also, one other thing before we get started, and again, I will timestamp each reading for you guys. I just wanted to let you know also that I do offer introductions to your natal chart if you would like to understand why, you know, you and your partner are having trouble communicating. There, you know, in addition to the core wounds that could be impacting you, you just might communicate and process things differently because one of you is predominantly air energy and one of you is predominantly water energy. So these are the types of things that a session with me can kind of help you figure out and process and make sense of. So that information's down below. You can just go to my website. That link is there, and you can see a description of the services I offer, and you can also schedule an appointment with me. So before we get started, one last thing, I promise. I'm just going to walk through really quick the decks that I'm going to be using in this reading. And if there are any cards that, you know, you guys see me hold up, I tend to, you know, I always focus on the images. They speak to me in addition to the traditional intended meanings of the cards. But if there's any that catch your eye, you want to know what the deck was, where it came from, I'm happy to provide that information. If you aren't sure from watching the video, just feel free to comment below or shoot me an email and ask me the questions. So the first focus that, the first card that I'm going to use in each element is the applicable element sign vibes oracle deck, which was created by me. So I have one for earth signs, I have one for air signs, fire signs, water signs. So it's intended to look at some of the personality traits that these elements tend to embody. There are specific shadow cards for each one, and for some of the zodiac signs. So there could be specific messages. For example, if a Scorpio card comes out, that, you know, you may, if you are a Scorpio or dealing with a Scorpio, you might identify with that. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at triggers and shadows. That is another deck that I created and mentioned earlier. Just to see if there's any type of a core wound that's coming up, right? So what we might delve into are, you know, the core wounds that could be coming up for you, patterns, that people that could be coming in, issues that could be coming up that you're facing, and, you know, the guidance from spirit that needs to come through. We're also going to use the Mystic Moon Oracles. She used to call it, I think it's still called the Twin Flame Oracle, but it's just got some great shadow and some just other general spiritual journey type topics. We're going to use the Sacred Union Tarot, which was created by me. We're going to use the Treasure Trove Tarot, Careers and Finances, also by Mystic Moon Oracles, to look into the career finance aspect. We're going to use the Zodiac Moon Reading Cards by Patsy Bennett. And we are also going to get a message from Archangel Michael for some advice for your issue. So without further ado now, I promise, we're going to get started here with Earth signs. So Earth signs, you are up. And you guys, if you've watched my videos, you know that I shuffle ahead of time just to save the time, but I have not reviewed these, so it takes me a minute sometimes to kind of look through these and get all the messages, especially now with this one, because we are looking at career, we're looking at some just overall issues, and we're going to see what comes out. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. So we have Capricorn coming out twice, very specifically, right? So obviously this is the earth sign element reading, but if you are a Capricorn or you are dealing with a Capricorn, this might, be a further confirmation that this reading is applicable to you. So from the earth sign vibes, we got the goat, the Capricorn natal chart key, which this means, again, that there's only 3 natal chart keys in this deck. So specifically, this energy is coming out. Could also be somebody who is just, Capricorns can tend to be very cold, closed off with their emotions, and focused more on work, money, finances, those types of things. I'm getting that the situation I'm just getting a very strong energy of somebody who's been controlling and possessive of you. Obviously we've got the card that comes out to confirm the control, possessive, smothering, demanding, but there are some other cards, and just with that energy coming together that has me feeling that way. I have this feeling too that perhaps this person did not bring out the best in you, and you know that. We have the mirroring card here, and that, what's interesting to me is that this swan is solo, and swans mate for life. And so the fact that this card, I should say, only has the one, I feel like you've decided, or you're in the process perhaps of leaving this person. You may already be divorced from them or going through a divorce, but you're having a hard time getting out of their grasp. And so what I'm getting is that you need to cut them off. We've got the Page of Swords, and this is from the romance card, the romance, aspect that we're looking at in the Sacred Union Tarot. Page of Swords can mean a swift message, cutting off contact, or time to communicate. But what I'm getting, the energy I'm getting here, and take it how it resonates for you, right? If you were looking for a sign, everything's, not controlling, it's a good situation. There could be just for some of you, a situation where somebody's afraid to reach out and things are at a stalemate, and this is a sign to communicate. But for the vast majority of you, I'm getting very strong Capricorn energy, very strong, and again, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us, both, males and females. But I'm getting a strong masculine type where, the woman was stifled, controlled, not allowed to have her own thoughts, beliefs, possessions, career. And again, you are trying to break free from this. They may have even had some narcissistic tendencies. And so what I'm getting is the lesson, or the test, right? When Mercury retrograde comes around, is you may start hearing from them, right? This is what the messages could be coming in from them, where they try to sweet talk you, they try to get you back, they try to, bring in, if we get back together, it's going to be different this time, it's going to be so much better. But what I'm getting is that, this is not something that is you should be doing. You should be picking up that sword. And if you are already in the middle of a divorce, I would say you need to stick with it and keep going, keep working towards your goal of freedom. I'm just feeling that very strongly that needs to happen. And you may be tested with them coming back, swinging back around, trying to hoover you, suck you back in, as that term is often used in the narcissistic, relationships when you're trying to break free. And I've been there, and I know it's very, very hard. But for the career and finances, we got King of Swords, which in this Treasure Trove Tarot deck, swift but fair, high standards, lawyer or judge. So that's why I'm picking up on cutting them off, kind of getting out of your head, because in your heart what is the right decision here. What needs to happen. If you haven't lawyered up, and maybe you're worried about how you're going to pay for that, I'm getting that you have to commit to going forward and set these intentions. There may be mechanisms where some of, if income is an issue, especially if you're a woman that's in an abusive situation or a controlling, because emotional abuse is just as dangerous in many respects. It's abuse is abuse. There may be programs. You should check with local bar associations. They will often offer, volunteer lawyer project services, or there may be payment plans, things like that. People who will be willing to take on your case at a discount or, for free, depending on the program. But I'm just getting very strongly that you need to, get your power back. You need to be the one to take control of your financial situation and build your own status going forward. From the Zodiac moon cards, we got work diligently towards your goals, Sun in Capricorn, status. It's interesting to me that this is a number 10. 10s are about closure, closing out cycles. And I think that that's what you're being called to do, to understand that, yeah, there might be some work, right? The pyramids, isn't there saying the pyramids didn't get built in a day? It's hard, backbreaking work, but there is divine guidance, divine light. You're being beckoned, and that, you feel it with every fiber of your being. You've just got to break free and surrender and trust that, you're done with this. This is a lesson that you had to learn in this life. Unfortunately, many of us do. But that you deserve better, you want better, and that you're going to achieve it. The message from Archangel Michael is make a commitment. My prayer, Archangel Michael, as the angel of courage and confidence, I call upon you to lend me your strength. Allow me to commit to myself, my life, and my divine purpose. Please clearly guide me so I can fully open my heart to every experience. And I would also, this is just a suggestion. But what I'm getting is Archangel Michael, the angels, your spirit guides, your higher self, God, whatever, your belief system is there. You're being called to make a commitment to pick up that sword and, set higher standards for yourself of what you'll accept and go through with that legal proceeding, go through with emancipating yourself. I'm just getting this very strong, just like, again, it's like almost like the stifling energy. And you may, they may have gaslighted you to, try to make, with the mirroring, like you're the crazy one, you're the one that did blah, blah, X, Y, Z, but, I'm willing to forgive you. I'm willing to forgive you and try again because, you're just this and that, and make you feel like you're the one that's at fault and that guilty, and then that you should be grateful that they want you back type of stuff. So, again, if you've been in this situation, you'll know exactly what type of behavior this is, deep down, but you're being asked, make a commitment and call on Archangel Michael, call on your guides, call on whatever belief system you have, and ask them to help you, ask them to show you the way. I'll never forget, I set an intention, when I was in a situation, I had never lived on my own, was scared to death to make the move. And I remember just saying, I really want this to work. I want things to get better. By the way, I was paying this guy to live in his house. I was paying him a rent. I was paying for food for him and other people that were living there. I was just being completely drained financially, emotionally, in every way. And I remember writing this note, again, just completely lost, didn't know who I was even writing it to, but I just said, if this is not, if I want these are the things I want. I want peace. I want a stable, happy relationship. I want to feel valued. I want all these things that I didn't have that were lacking. And I remember saying, if this isn't possible with him, then I want an out. I want an out to be shown to me, within 24 hours or 48 hours, something like that. Like, please help me. I'm ready. I want to go, but I need a sign. I need, some kind of confirmation that I'm meant to move and that I have support, right? That I can do this. And I'm not even kidding you. I started looking. I didn't even know where to look for apartments, right? I had never done it before. And I found one, and you believe it, but yeah, the rent was the exact same amount I was paying him. So I knew, and then I called, talked to the landlord, very nice person. You know, you got to put it out there that you're ready and that you're done with this, and then you've got to follow through, make that commitment. Okay, and then earth signs, you know, if this resonated for you, I'm sorry you're going through this. Like I said, I've been there. Many of us have been there. These are topics that we could focus on in a session. If you think that that would be helpful, we can just talk through the wounds, the insecurities, the unknowns, and work on building up your confidence and your love of yourself so that you won't ever be tempted to go back to this situation again. So hang in there, and you know, I will keep you all in my prayers and be sending you love as you're going through this change. All right. So air signs, let's take a look at you. All right. Air signs, what do we have going on? All right, air signs. So what I'm getting, air signs, is that you have a pattern. There has been a pattern, I should say. There is a pattern. There's a dynamic. There is something where you have. I'm getting more of a romantic situation, but it certainly could be a friendship. Somebody that you care dearly about, that is kind of giving you crumbs and isn't putting in an equal effort with what you're wanting out of the situation. So we have, from the air sign vibes deck, we have friendly. I'm getting this person, you know, what makes it hard for you to set boundaries with them, what makes it hard for you to walk away, is that there's a very kind energy there. They're very warm. They're very friendly. You know, there's really not a lot of maybe even drama, you know, when you're around them, and you just feel so good. But it's like they won't commit to you. They just, again, I'm getting heavy crumbs energy. I'm getting, you know, again, take it how it resonates, but I'm getting more of a female energy who is, you know, in this abundant, fertile time of her life. You know, you may be wanting to have kids, you may be wanting to settle down with this person, and time is kind of just slipping away. You're losing your patience. And I feel like when they, you know, just as you kind of start to move on, there's this pattern, right? And as we know, with Mercury retrograde coming back around, that the Knight of Wands, they come in and out of your life. It's passionate, it's hot, you know, but they want their freedom and they won't commit. So, you know, I'm getting, some of you may even have, you know, this hope again, that like you see this person as the love of your life, like you want to settle down with this person, but you feel like you're wasting time and you're not sure what to do. Like you're just getting like, you feel like you're almost, I feel like it's like you feel like your youth is slipping away, or the prime of your life, right? And you're just, you just, it's so hard because there's never been, I don't feel like, a falling out. There's never like it's just like they come in your life, you know that they care, but they, even if they don't really say it, things are amazing. You never had this connection with anybody, and then they pull away, and you're just like, how do I move on from this? Right? And I feel like, you know, unfortunately, you may have even been told, I'm getting, for some of you, you may have been told this person was your twin flame. You may be feeling they're your twin flame or soulmate, past life kind of thing. You may just feel it, and you know, that there's something there that's beyond, right? There may be dreams. There may be 5D, like astral kind of stuff going on. But what I'm getting, we've got from the Zodiac moon cards, we've got serve your higher purpose, eclipse in Pisces, free will, and 3-6, it adds up to a 9, which is about self. So I'm getting that the purpose of this has been to bring you into your Empress energy. And so, and this is, for those of you who aren't familiar with my Sacred Union Tarot, I did do something crazy, and I put myself on the Queen cards, and this is the Empress card, when I was doing belly dancing. And the reason being is I wanted to be able to really tap into the energy and understand when I pull these cards kind of where this person's at on their journey, because it's a representation of where I was on my journey when I created this card and created the concept, right, and embodied that. But this is exactly the situation that I was in. I'm kid you not, when I took this picture. You guys want to know why I took this picture? I don't know if I took this picture to try to bait this person, right? Like, I put it on Snapchat and I'm like, look at me. And I thought I was in my Empress energy then, right? And yeah, I got messages, but then guess what? Knight of Wands, poof, gone. Nothing ever came of it. And, it was not long after that I decided, the time is up. The time is up. I'm tired I'm losing my patience. I've surrendered. This is, settling. There's this void, right? At one time, I did want children. There's this empty nursery. There's this fertile woman here, and she's just wasting her life away. So that's the energy I'm getting, is that you've just been waiting and hoping and trying to do anything you can to get this person to come around. And, I guess backtracking where I was going with that, I feel like the purpose of this connection ultimately, and I know this is not what people want to hear, so it may be triggering, but it's to get you into this Empress goddess energy. It's to get you into that wholeness within yourself. And it's an ongoing process, right? This picture was taken in November of 2020, and I thought I have done so much work since then, be it willingly or not. Sometimes we're forced, right, to be stripped bare, to let go. And I'm still every day, stripping away layers of myself to get here. But, I was at that point in my life, I was at a point where I did, I wasn't, I had still been single 3 years, celibate a long time, things that I never imagined doing, right? And I never imagined that after that I would get the strength to walk away from it, to cut this person off, to say enough. I'm not settling for this. I'm choosing myself. And it was a very dark time, but I had to recognize, serving this served a higher purpose. This connection served a higher purpose. Eclipse in Pisces. Pisces is probably the most emotional sign, right? It's a very emotionally draining thing that can take the depths of the despair, right? For some of you, again, if you're a male watching, this could be, a divorce that you went through, something like that. Again, it's a friendly thing. It's just the timing wasn't right with this person. Ultimately, I think you were settling. I just am having that coming through for some of you. But it's still, it serves a higher purpose. And people do have free will, but you have to focus on you and your own journey here. And what I'm getting to from the career aspect of this is that this connection may have awakened you or exposed you to gifts that you weren't aware that you had and you embodied. And so in this instance, the Knight of Wands is asking you to tap into that, something you're passionate about, something that makes you feel free. Maybe you are at a point where there's this transformation that needs to happen in the career sector. You want to do something completely different. Pluto retrograde is about transformation. So you may be getting, triggered and pulled in with your work and your job, and it's like the same kind of things where you're getting overworked, overburdened, overwhelmed, and you realize, like, I can't take this anymore, right? So that might be something that comes to fruition for you during this time period. But I'm getting, with serving your higher purpose, passionate, creative energy, is that you may be asked to take that energy that you were throwing into trying to get this person, right? Throwing it on to trying to get this relationship, trying to get this outcome, trying to get this to happen. Throw all that passion and that intense energy and that creativity into your soul's calling, whatever that may be, to making a career change, to doing a side business, to hobbies, those types of things. So your message, air signs, from Archangel Michael is shield yourself. And I'm getting that you need to focus on you and only letting in, putting up the boundaries. That's what I'm getting strongly. The shield yourself is about putting up boundaries and not letting somebody come in and out of your life without a commitment, without, this hot and cold behavior, right? And if it's too hard to be just their friend, if it's too hard to have them in your life at all, you need to cut them off and heal from that and get into your own energy. Because if you let them back in, that friendly vibe, that, it's just so warm, it feels so good when they shower me with these crumbs, it's just, you're just going to keep getting triggered over and over. So let's see what Archangel Michael says here, or what you should be saying to Archangel Michael, I should say. Archangel Michael, I ask you to protect me, my loved ones, my vehicle, and my home with your powerful shield. Surround us in your purple light, which allows only pure love to penetrate. Please stay with me day and night and keep my loved ones safe. Name specific people or situations. So that is definitely something that, people should be doing every day, is to shield themselves and protect themselves, in this regard. But I think this also is to ask Archangel Michael to help you cut cords that to things that, no longer serve your highest, greatest good, and to help you set boundaries, to keep only, the people who want to be in your life there, and the ones that don't want to stay, and the ones that keep hurting you, ask Michael for the strength to help you, pull out that sword, put up that shield, and say enough is enough. Okay? And if you need specific guidance on your journey, then I would be happy to look into scheduling an appointment with you. And again, that information is down below. So hang in there, air signs. All right, we are moving on to fire signs now. Fire signs, we're going to take a look at your retrograde energies and lessons. Hopefully not lessons, I don't like to call them that, but we're going to see what might be resurfacing for you, what's coming around. Okay, down here. That's so interesting, guys, when this stuff happens. Wow. We got so much fire energy here, I don't even know what to say. Okay. I am getting that you may have somebody trying to tame your fire. And that could just be society in general. That can be family. That can be a partner. We've got the adventurous vibe coming out. And as you can see, it's kind of a little bit of a risque one. Not sure exactly what's going on here, but my assumption was that there was some naughty behavior going on here in the tent, with the hand up there like that, right? We have a divine masculine card, and we have a couple of very powerful female energies that came out. So I'll just show you guys this, just in case this image speaks to you at all. with the mandala here. But this to me is that this masculine energy in this card is very tame, actually. It's more water energy. And so I don't know if you've been with a partner, you know, who is more subdued, who is more gentle, and is making you feel like shame because you're trying to embody your power, you know, your divine masculine, maybe sort of out of balance. But I'm getting, you know, there's some self-blame and humiliation. And it could be too, I mean, could be for some of you where you have a pattern of doing things that you regret or you're embarrassed, right? Maybe you get this crazy energy coming in, and then you feel shame for doing that. So if that's just for some of you, if that is the case, then I would ask you to kind of sit with and journal and note, you know, the times that this happens, when this feeling comes up. You know, is there a specific thing you're doing? You know, are you drinking at the time? Are you trying to impress a certain person or group of people? Are you around a certain group of people that are influencing you? Is it only when you, you know, are reliving certain things? You know, maybe you're around high school friends, for example, something like that. If there's a certain just pattern that you notice, right? If you start taking note of it, that might help you assess what is going on and get to the root cause of it. But what I'm getting is that somebody is trying to put doubts in you, or there's some kind of a wound that keeps coming up to make you doubt yourself. Like you put yourself out there, you take a risk, you take a chance, and then maybe if something doesn't work out, you feel shame, you feel embarrassed, and then you lose your confidence. I'm getting that you are planting a lot of seeds right now. You are you're making investments in your future, right? So what's so beautiful here is that we've got, from the Treasure Trove Tarot, which is the career finances, the Empress, right? The Empress is the ultimate divine feminine energy. But in this deck, fertile investments, feminine authority, prosperity, and abundance. You've also got, from the Sacred Union Tarot, Queen of Wands, fiery, confident, magnetic. I'm getting, and if you guys didn't watch the air signs, you know, I did explain that in the Sacred Union Tarot, I did put myself on the Queen cards and the Empress card. And the reason for that was just to really help me be able to tap into the energy of when I pull this card, where I was on my journey when this happened. And, you know, that helps me kind of better understand why it's coming out for my clients and for the collective on these types of readings. So, you know, we've got a Queen of Wands, which is the fire energy, and we're doing the fire signs reading, right? So lots of fire. There's some more coming. But I'm getting that, you know, you may very well have somebody in your life that's trying to shame you for the path you're taking. You're taking risks, you're taking chances, and you're questioning, is it going to pay off? But what I'm getting here with this energy, you know, something could come around. Something could come around with the retrogrades, if it's been an ongoing issue or pattern that could maybe shake your foundation a little bit, shake your confidence. There could be something that you were hoping that doesn't happen. But what you've got to know when these things happen, right? Why is this happening? What's it trying to show me? Maybe this opportunity isn't working the way I hoped. But did I learn something from it? Okay. Or did it maybe open another door, or give me a few more seeds that I can plant for the next step? Okay. What I'm getting very strongly is that, you know, too, that you may have a lot of options coming your way, and you're not sure which route to take. And I feel like there may be some doubt and lack of confidence because some of the things that when you put yourself on a limb before didn't work, you're like, you know, kind of like pointing the finger at yourself, right? With this shame, like, you know, you're telling yourself you're a failure, telling yourself it didn't work, and questioning, right? I feel like maybe you are diminishing your masculine energy, that confident, emotion to take charge and take the lead. It's kind of been subdued because of these things. And there may be a tendency for that to happen again with Mercury retrograde coming. But just know that if it does, what I'm clearly seeing is an urge from spirit to have confidence in yourself for sure. Because we got believe in yourself for the Zodiac moon card. Believe in yourself, moon in Aries, courage. And this is more fire energy. And what's really beautiful, you can see that, there are these golden, I think they're called chrysalis, pods, where these caterpillars, they're not out of the cocoon yet. So you may very well think, okay, I should be here by now, and I'm feeling shame because I'm not, because I've put a lot of time and effort into this, right? But you're being have the courage, have the confidence to believe that the seeds you're planting are going to become fertile and abundant. I mean, when you get the Empress in the career and finance card and it's showing fertile investments, it means the seeds you planted are growing. It just may take more time. So there's that. We'll get to the guidance from Archangel Michael here in a moment, but I felt very strongly, for the most part, this is a confidence issue, focused on investments you're making. I also feel like there could be some tests with you, on the romantic side as well, with the Queen of Wands coming out and the Divine Masculine coming out. It may be that you feel shame or embarrassed. Someone really triggered you deeply. Maybe you trusted them. You took a leap of faith and you trusted them. You had a rendezvous or something like that. And, now you feel this shame because you feel like they betrayed you. And what I'm getting is, that was just unfortunately something to help you build, that confidence. Because now what I'm getting is you're at a point now where you're not going to let that happen again. You're not going to let somebody put you in that position again. You're going to be balanced in your divine feminine and masculine energies, and have the courage and believe in yourself and the courage to say no the next time. You may start drawing in, draw this person back during Mercury retrograde because you are starting to embody that confident magnetic energy, right? And what I'm getting, because again, X's often come back Mercury retrograde, is that, recognize the pattern. And, if you're in a place where you trust your feminine authority, right, that you got your stuff and your ducks in a row, your stuff's coming, you don't need this person, be it financially, be it, in a sexual way, you believe that you have everything you need and everything is coming to you, and know that there are other options out there for you from a romantic standpoint, to say no to this person. That might be, there's a lot of love there, there's a lot of history there, but it's very hard to say no. And so what I'm getting strongly is to know that there are other possibilities out there for you, be it in, projects for work-wise and career, but also from a romantic standpoint. But the new can't come in until you let go of the past. And so if there is this masculine energy that you've been holding on to, or hoping they come back, or hoping they change, you can't bring in someone else until you fully let this person go. So from Archangel Michael cards, explore your options. My prayer: dear God, thank you for your wisdom and love, helping me see, understand, and assess all of my alternative options. Please guide me in the best direction for my health, happiness, and life's purpose. And I think this one, if it's resonating for you on the romance side, where you've got somebody that did this to you, or maybe came in and out of your life, then I would encourage you to watch the air signs reading, because I think even if you don't have air in your chart, or you may not know, you might have air in your chart in certain areas, I think the air signs reading might resonate for you. So I hope that was helpful for you, fire signs. If you would like to schedule an appointment to look into your specific situation, that information is down below. You can go to my website and go from there. All right, so now we are going to move to water signs. Last but not least, water signs. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So what I'm getting for you water signs, I'm getting that you are kind of in this stuck mode right now. You kind of just feel numb and kind of like you're in your own world, that you kind of just want to turn inward. I feel like maybe you've been hurt in the past. Who hasn't, right? That's very specific, huh? But somebody deceived you. Somebody deceived you. There could have been something that, you know, you kind of had closed yourself off to a situation. And I feel like you were sort of just kind of just going through the motions every day. And I'm picking up on really somebody who has learned to cope by closing themselves off. There's not a lot of emotion here, which is surprising because this is a water signs this is a water signs video. But I feel like you've always felt like it's safer to show your feelings, affection, and love for, like, you know, animals and children, right? So we got the empathetic card from the water sign vibes deck. So you can just see there's like this little girl here, and she's just rather just, you know, be in her own energy with this animal, and she's kind of you know, not engaged with anything else around her. We also, from the triggers and shadows deck, we have the unawakened. And this is, you know, resistant, oblivious, stressed. You can see this guy is kind of just walking down the street. He's got the hood on. The world's going on around him, passing him by, and he's just completely like shut off. And again, you know, take it how it resonates, because you very well may have been dealing with somebody like this, somebody who isn't coming out from their shell, or from you know, opening their heart, or showing their truth, right? Speaking their truth, admitting feelings, those types of things. So again, take it how it resonates. But we have, from the Mystic Moon Oracles, we have the Deception card. And you can see that there's individuals behind a tree, and they're like clawing. It's like you've put up this barrier, this wall. Getting that so strongly. Like, it's just like completely numb. And so there's this pattern where you can't move forward in your life because there's things you want, you or this person that you're dealing with. But until you break free from this energy, you know, you're going to be stuck and stagnant. But I feel like what's kind of happening now with Pluto retrograde, with the transformation that's kind of calling you, is to get out of this. There's starting to be a burn, an urge for an expression of something that's below the surface. So what we have from the Sacred Union Tarot, it's the Hanged Woman in this deck, because it was like me on my journey several times, completely stuck, stagnant, frustrated, burning with desire, right? I just feel like you're like, you thought your life was going to be at a different point. There's different things you want, and you're just like everything's in balance, in limbo, and you don't know where you're going next. And it's like this fire is burning. It's like, oh my God, there's things that I wanted, but I was too afraid to follow my heart and follow my dreams. And so now you're just kind of in this like, what's the word I'm thinking of? Void. It's like this void of going through the motions. What's interesting to me too is that now this is the career finances card, but I've also been, interchangeably reading these, as far as across the board for the different messages that come out. But we got the Hierophant, and when you look at it from if this is a romantic situation, Hierophant is a spiritual connection. It is a very, very powerful, deep soul bond that often has 5D experiences, meaning dreams that are way more than a dream. They're astral experiences. There's telepathy. There's just energy that's shared. There's a lot more going on. And I feel like perhaps maybe you're starting to read up on this and learn about it, and that's starting to help you understand why you felt the things so deeply that actually did make you scared and make you close off and make you put up that guard and that barrier. And you're starting to understand it, and the more you understand it, the more this fire burns, that you're like, oh my God, I'm like getting this feeling like I wish I could go back in time and turn myself upright and take this fire and like completely go forward and get out of this stuck energy and have the life I've dreamed of. I feel like fear has just gripped you and held you back on the things that you want. And I feel like there's I'm just getting the word, like the reckoning that's coming now, with retrograde. There could be, I'm feeling like there's this calling you're really like, now here's where we get the emotion coming up, the moon in Pisces. Follow your dreams, the wander, like you're wandering, like it's like kind of like sometimes at night, I feel like maybe you lay awake at night and you wonder, what if I'd have followed my dream, if I would have not let this fear get me, where would my life be now? What would it be like? There's like this magical fantasy, right? Pisces are very much known for like a fantasy element of a dreamland. And I'm getting that they're starting, it's starting to get more difficult to keep the emotions at bay because it's starting to eat you up inside. That's what we're getting with this fire, like it's starting to consume you. And I think you're afraid that the things that you want, like that you've taken so long to make a move towards what it is you want, that you're afraid you're going to lose it. But I feel like you're in the process of, going through some sort of, like a spiritual awakening. I'm getting that perhaps that is what is coming for you with the retrogrades, is that there could be something that comes back and triggers you into the point where it's like you put everything together, right? The spiritual connection, there's something you read, something you hear, and it's just like this light bulb goes off, and everything makes sense. Sorry, I have like, sometimes I have just thoughts, like messages coming in. But the Hierophant is definitely a spiritual advisor. It's definitely a spiritual connection. Oh, and so what I was going back with was like the Mercury retrograde. You may very well, have been in this pattern of, cycling between, situations. It could, if they're romantic situations, you could have exes that typically come back in and out of your life. And it's like this time they come around and you're kind of like, this doesn't do it for me. I want something with more depth. I want something different. I'm ready to break free from these shackles, right? So the purpose of this retrograde could be that you finally are ready to break free of this pattern of closing yourself off and going through the motions, okay? What I'm getting from the career aspect is that you do have dreams of doing other things, and there is still that energy even with the career side of just going through the day-to-day, feeling stuck. Like, is this all, like, my life, I have different dreams for myself. I have, a different purpose of things that I wanted to accomplish. There could be sort of that feeling of like a midlife crisis, no matter how old you are. You may very well feel like, okay, I'm at a certain age, like I should, I want to be buying a house, or I want to be more secure. There's different things that you're starting to value in your life. You're maybe at a point where you're ready to, I'm getting like the word, like grow up, like mature, right? Because this is values and integrity are governed by this. So your values may be changing to the point where you're like, this isn't working for me anymore. I'm ready to learn something new, to go forward, start working with a financial advisor, start trying to figure out how I can make this shift, make this leap into a more mature existence, a more fulfilling existence on all levels. And I feel like you're definitely being encouraged for that, because we've got, again, the follow your dreams, right? Sometimes, lying there, the fantasy thing, that's all great, but, you've got to actually take action to bring it into a reality. And so you might be presented with opportunities during this time that could come into your life and offer you some sort of a transformation in that regard. So I'm getting clearly the message that you need, the transformation that needs to happen during this Pluto retrograde is to not let the fear hold you back anymore, to, speak your truth, to put yourself out there, be it with, your works, your passions, the life that you want. There's never a right time, right? And the more time's going so fast, like you keep waiting for something to change, you're the one that has to get yourself, unstuck and out of the situation. There are things, such as divine timing, but there's like, we're co-creators as well. And so I feel like maybe water signs have more of a passive energy versus fire signs, and they're maybe not going to take that action. Pick up that stick, pick up that wand, and, manifest and make it happen. So, Pisces is obviously a water energy also. So it's like staying in that dreamy, like that thought, like that wish, I hope, I want this someday, isn't going to bring it into fruition. You have to actually, take out, your book, physically, write down what you want, and as if you have it. You have to take the actions, take the steps to bring those pentacles into place, to bring the relationship that you want into place, to bring the life circumstances that you want into fruition. So what we're getting from Archangel Michael is honor and trust your feelings. So yeah, wow, this is amazing. Okay, so it's clearly, you're being called, I feel like the longer this goes on, like the more regrets you have, like you're deceiving yourself, it's eating you up inside. Whatever the situation is, you can't, there's only so much of your life that you can like feel like you're wasting away wondering, what if I did this? What if I took this chance? What if I did that? At least you will know, right? And you can break free from this self-imposed prison, this like, I'm too afraid to come out of the shadows, and it's like I'm just holding on, like I can barely know, like there, at least the energy is building. I'm feeling like to the point where you can't ignore it anymore. And you're being told here to honor and trust these feelings and to express them. So it says, thank you, Archangel Michael, for supporting, guiding, and protecting me as I listen to and act upon my feelings. Help me understand and express my emotions with love. So that's just really beautiful. And I think, if this is resonating for you, there could be some deeper work that needs to be done to heal, to examine, and look into the child core wounds that may be gripping you and keeping you in this like state of just closing off. And, there's obviously, your soul is crying for deeper connections, for for certain things that you've dreamed of, but I'm getting a very strong energy of being held back by fear, anxiety, insecurities, and those types of things. So I think it would really benefit you to perhaps look into some of that in a session with me or with someone else that you resonate with. So I hope that helps you guys, water signs. And if you would like to book a session with me, that information for my website is down below. Thanks so much. Until next time, take care.